This is Vision Weekend that we're walking into. So this week and next week, I'm going to put some special things up on our iTunes account just to help build your faith toward the vision that God has for you. In Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, God said, I know the plans that I have for you. When we talk about a vision for your life, we're not talking about you making up some 5-year plan for yourself. We're talking about you discovering the plan that God has for your life, what God wants you to accomplish in your life. On Vision Weekend, we're going to ask you to write down the next step that God has in His plan for your life. But again, it all comes back to what is God speaking to your life, not what you dream, not what you desire, not what you make up in your own imagination, but what God is speaking to your life, God's plan for your life. I want to start today by talking to you about the season in which vision is imparted. Too often you and I think that vision is imparted during great high points of spirituality and great high points of faith, and everything is wonderful and God speaks vision into a man of faith. But forgive me, it doesn't work like that. God spoke vision into Abraham's life in Genesis 13 verse 14 at a very low point in his life, at a time in which Lot had departed from him, the family had split, and this must have been very painful. But it was in that season, at a low point, a time of pain, that God spoke vision to his life and said, lift up your eyes to the north, east, south, and west. Look at all the land that I've given to you. God spoke vision into his life in chapter 15, verses 1 to 3, and again, a time in which he was a little depressed. He had no child. In verses 1 to 3, after this, the word of the Lord came to Abraham in a vision, saying, do not be afraid, Abram, I'm your shield and your very great reward. But Abram said, O sovereign Lord, what can you give me, since I remain childless? And the one who will inherit my estate is Eliezer of Damascus. He said, you've given me no children, so a servant in my household will be my heir. And then God began to speak vision to his life. Same thing with Gideon in Judges chapter 6, verse 11 and 12, hiding in the bottom of a threshing floor. There he began to speak to Gideon, hail, mighty man of valor, and spoke vision to his life that he would deliver the people of Israel from their bondage and oppression. God speaks vision to us in difficult days of our lives. God is the lifter of our heads. God is the encourager, the God of eternal encouragement. So today, as you sit there and you think about failure, as you think about pain, and then you hear me talk about vision, don't think, well, I can't receive vision right now. I'm spiritually in a position where vision cannot be imparted. No, you're so wrong. It is exactly in seasons like this that God begins to impart vision. A season of depression, a season of difficulty, a season of failure, a season in which you have learned, forgive me, like Gideon, to live with your problems. It is in a season like that that God will speak vision to you.